Let me just tell y'all something about me. I'm very objective and I take feedback very well, and you don't have to sugarcoat it. So if at any point you be like, that ain't it, right? And I will not be offended or salty.
Okay.
The only thing I'm gonna tell you even before you start,
What?
don't be in your head.
You know me.
Just forget the mics is there, and just
have the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm awkward as hell, so I'm gonna make it. We're gonna do
You
what
a
it do.
good time on I see
Yeah.
you.
I feel like it's like the first 5 to 10 minutes or whatever.
It's awkward.
Nah, then we'll just get into it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
because this is annoying, but whatever.
Hey, yo.
It's all in your face.
I'm in my element, you heard?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
No freestyling.
Yeah, freestyling, wilding
Okay.
from Coney Island. Ooh. Come on, y'all.
Yay.
All right.
Okay.
We taping? We rolling?
Rolling.
Okay.
Big rolling.
Bish got a podcast.
Hey, come on.
Welcome to episode 1 of the As Told By podcast. I can't believe I'm really doing this.
Yay.
I've talked about, and people have talked to me about having a podcast for about 2 years now. So I finally decided to do it. This is an interview-based series, 6 episodes for season 1. A little bit about me. My name is Kahja, Bay Area transplant. I'm originally from New York, BX Borough. I meet so many dope people here in Oakland, where I've been now for 7 years. And so everyone has a story. All stories are unique. All stories are valid. So why not start a podcast and hit up these stories? So today's first story is Success in Modern Marriage, as told by the Pettys.
Hey.
Introduce
The Pettys.
yourselves, Pettys.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. I am the wife of the Pettys. My name is Martinique. Born and raised in Oakland, California. Currently in some real estate. Been married to my soulmate, 8th grade crush for 6 going on 7 years.
We'll get into that story.
Yeah.
We're going to break that all the way down.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We're here.
Anthony, married to Martinique Petty. What was the question? What did I?
Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
That's a really philosophical question. You know what I mean? No, born and raised in Oakland, grew up here, and I'm an owner. I'm one of the owners of Compound Strength and Conditioning. My wife and I own it. And yeah.
What is it? What is compound strength and conditioning?
Oh, it's a gym.
There you go.
We lift weights. We clang and bang. You heard?
Clang bang. That's how I know Anthony.
Yeah.
He is my trainer.
Yeah.
Oakland's own Spencer James.
Yeah.
If you watch All American, you know that he got a football history here in the Bay.
A little bit.
Dope trainer. And Martinique is real estate extraordinaire, selling water to the well every week. I see her post, and I'm like, damn.
Slanging
need
them
our-
things like hotcakes.
I mean, I see a Khaled in the background, another one.
For real.
Every time it hits. But thanks, y'all. I'm so interested to hear your perceptions and perspectives. Y'all are in your mid-30s,
Yes.
right? How
Yes,
long have
we
you been
are.
married?
Since 2015, so 6 years going on 7 years, or 7 years going on 8.
7 going on 8.
Okay, there's the math.
I heard you say 8th grade, though.
Yeah.
So it's been
oh,
a
here we
minute
go.
that y'all know each other.
I'm going to let Babe tell the story because he has his own perception of what happened.
How did we meet? Okay, y'all. This is what happened. Boom. So we have a mutual friend in junior high. And so the mutual friend, I had these football, like, you play football, you get the little photos or whatever. So I'm giving them out at school, and I give them to our mutual friend. And so Martinique, I guess, saw it and wanted a picture. So they called me on the phone. The homie was like, oh, yeah, like, I want somebody to talk to you. They want a picture. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, well, yeah, I'll bring you the picture. But you got to remember, this is the time before cell phones. Like, kids just didn't walk around. So you had the house phone, and then when you left the house, you was out the house, you used the pay phone. So
Not the payphone.
Not the payphone.
for sure.
Oh.
For
I
sure.
never
yeah,
use payphones.
That
What?
means you had to have coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or, I mean, you hit that 0, hit that collect.
Collect.
Yeah.
You really like that.
Y'all
call
remember
collect.
we had a baby, it's a boy? You know what I'm saying? You know what we had a baby, it's a boy. You know what I'm saying? Say the whole message.
I hope he never
Zero.
called you Chloe.
So we didn't really know each other. I just knew her through the homie. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, I'll come down. We'll meet you at the rec center, and I'll bring the picture. So I get to the house, and I realized I didn't have no more football pictures. But all I had was my 8th grade ID
That's
card.
the caveat, okay? Because I asked for what? A photo of a football player. Not, okay.
Not a bus
But you know what I'm
pass.
saying? But look, though. So
Talk to me.
me being who I am, like, okay, well, this is what I got. At least I'll show up with something. So I ride the bus across town, all the way across town. I walk into the rec center. Mind you, never met her before.
This is a little
The homie
dramatic.
points her out. I go, I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm Anthony, here goes a picture. She looks at the ID. She threw it in the air, and it's floating, and she just walked away. So I look at the homie like, what's wrong with your friend? And she just shrugged like, I'm like, oh,
I
wow.
think that's a little exaggerated.
And nah, that's
it
right.
gets worse every time you tell it, too.
No, that's the real. That's the real. And
I'll
boom,
recollect
that's
it that
what.
way.
That was our first time meeting. And then yeah, from there it was.
We just kind of kept in touch over the years.
Okay, so 8th grade to 2015. So
Right.
you didn't date straight through all that time. So y'all lost each other, found each other again?
Because high school happened after 8th grade. We kind of ventured off, did our own thing. Then college, I went to Howard. He stayed at home. So we just kind of kept in touch over the summers.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, 2009,
9 is when we got to it. Yeah.
it became official. Like, okay,
Okay.
let's really try this out.
Okay. So 09, then you get married in 2015,
Yep.
and fast forward to today.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
2021.
Yeah, almost 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just,
Ups and downs.
For sure.
A lot of growth, a lot of learning, a lot of compromises, really tough conversations. But I think what has brought us to this current moment is just the honesty and the respect that we have for one another. So that's what, like, when we first got together, like, we were just really good friends. So, like, it wasn't no titles. It wasn't like we would just link up, kick it for the whole summer, and then, she'd go back to school and I'd be out here. But it was always love. So I think that when we had that strong foundation of just friendship, it allows us, like, when we're having, when you fall on hard times in any relationship, but when we get there, it's like, yeah, let's just go back to what the friendship was. So we can just have honest conversation. Like, you tripping, I'm tripping, or whatever it is, and move on from there.
very transparent.
Gotta
That's
be.
like the key, I think.
Gotta be.
Because if you can't keep it 1,000 with your spouse, then what are you doing? You know?
But that gets hard for some people. They don't like that honesty. Sometimes, because, the truth hurts. Truth can
Yeah.
really hurt. And sometimes you got to look at some real tough realities and,
And own it.
yeah, on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
You
hard,
think that's what
but-
makes y'all a good team?
Absolutely.
The transparency?
That's the secret.
For
That's
sure.
our secret.
Okay.
Just keeping it transparent and 1,000. Keeping it a buck every time.
And laughing about it later. Like, I don't know, we probably have like a weird sense of humor too. Like, we laugh about the shit that happens and talk shit about it. So I don't know. But once again, I think that just kind of it evolved out of that friendship we had. And so we still stay connected to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else is added to that team dynamic? I know you're a team guy because you play sports.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of know what makes a team work, what doesn't.
I don't know. I think, like, one of the things we used to talk about early on was that, for me, I was like, we have to celebrate our uniqueness. Like, I don't want her to try to acquiesce to being somebody she thinks I want her to be. Like, nah, just be who you are, and then we'll go from there. Because, we've had different versions of ourselves along the way. Like, we met in 8th grade, so we're, 14? So you had the 14-year-old version. Then you had the high school version. Then you had the college version. Then you had the post-college version. And now you have the
been
mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
The mid-30s.
but all the way through there, it's just an evolution of a person. That's why I like to sit back and I just kind of watch her and celebrate the person that she constantly evolves into. And I'm biggest fan. Tell all the time. You'll find no one who's more of a fan than me. No one. No one.
I sure the hell hope so.
Yeah.
That's a good spot to
Oh,
be
yeah.
sitting in. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'm not married. I've never been married. So as a single person, I think there are perceptions. I know there's perceptions that I have about marriage. Like finances, right? So two sets are better than one. Right? If you're single and you've been able to float your boat financially for however long you've been single, then you get married, so you have another full-time, earner coming into the picture. To me, I'm like, okay, well, we should be chilling. I get the feeling, though, that's not what it is. If I talk to my married friends, they like, yeah, no.
Right.
That's a misperception that I think, or excuse me, a misconception, I should say, that I have about it. But, I know y'all have single friends. Everybody you know is not married. What are some of the misconceptions you think people have about marriage? Oh, here's another one. Wait, before you answer. Wait, not a misconception, but a question. So throw this onto the back end, and then you can tell me the misconceptions and then answer this. The whereabouts part. That's something that always stood out to me, like when I hang out with my married girlfriends or some of my friends, my male friends who are married, and the spouse or the partner is calling to check in on whereabouts. Oh. And I always be like, oh, God. Somebody's watching my every move. I live there. I'm going to be back. All my stuff is there. I'm coming home. But I guess that just comes with the deal.
See, that also relates back to what that's like a piggyback. Because if you have the transparency and the trust, then you don't need to be blowing phones up and asking where you are, it just comes naturally. Like, I always let babe know where I'm going, so that way he's not concerned. And we also share locations.
Come on, technology.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't have that issue, like the whereabout thing. Babe doesn't really trip off of a lot either. And I think it's just because I'm honest with him about, where I'm going, who I'm hanging with, what time. Well, my timing is not always that good, but like I'll be back at this time and then it's a couple hours later, but you know where I'm at.
Yeah, but I mean, but it wasn't always like that though, too.
True.
So like early on, we would, like she would be leaving. And for me, I'm just asking purely because I just want to make sure if you're not back by whatever time it is, that, I'm kind of aware of that and kind of trying to, make sure that you're okay. So one of the triggers for Neek, if I asked her, what time do you think you'll be back? And she took that as me trying to like be controlling. And so I tried to word it different. I'm like, so do you think you gonna like, can I get like a 3 hour, or are you gonna be back between 11 and 2 to
a window 5? Of time?
Yeah, like are you coming back tomorrow?
You
like,
put on a Comcast plan?
Man!
So, but it would be a huge trigger for her. So I think it took for just certain things to happen for her to understand why, like, she got a DUI. And so when she got her DUI, she didn't come home, and I was getting off work. I was working security at the time. And so when I got home, the bed wasn't made. I mean, the bed wasn't touched or anything. So I'm like, where the fuck is she? She was in the Bing, you know what I mean? So, and so I think she started to understand why I would ask, like, I don't care what time you come back. You come back with, you're a grown woman. But we just have to have that open line of communication. But also to your point, I think it's also what, like, marriage is what two people make it. It's just a partnership, and it's what y'all want it to be. Like, I think we have been conditioned to think that it's a certain thing, like it needs to look like the Huxtables or it needs to look like whatever. But
I like the Evans family.
The Evans, yeah, we more the Evans too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wait,
yeah.
who?
Minus the chair throwing. Don't throw the
Florida
chairs.
James.
Okay.
Good time.
Oh yes, Florida. Yes. How could I forget Florida? Yes.
So yeah, I mean, but that's marriage. Sometimes it get funky.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just what two people make it. So if you in a relationship and you like, nah, dog, like, stop trying to check in. I'm not gonna be calling you every 3 hours and telling you where I am. I mean, he has to kind of respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It takes compromise, but.
And I think some of it is probably what y'all saw too. What's your family backgrounds or histories? Were your parents married? I know I seen your dad come by the gym, Martinique. Yeah. So, what are some of those things that you feel like you picked up from your family dynamics that you've seen play out in your marriage, or purposely not play out in your marriage?
Right. Yeah, because I started out emulating my parents, which was detrimental to my relationship. But I did appreciate how they stayed together through adversity, because there was a lot of adversity in my childhood. So they stuck it out. I did appreciate that, and that's what I feel like I transfer over to my marriage. It's just like, even when shit hits the fan and it gets bad. A DUI. 2 times over, okay?
I like cocktails too.
They call it-
I'm a good time, like you said. So
yes.
it gets I turn up a little too fast. But now that I'm older,
I'm older
short.
than you. Let me not say it doesn't stop. It stops if you want it to.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
In these streets,
I still love the streets.
in the streets,
I'm being honest.
she was known as Party Marty. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Party Marty when she pull up. There's a
Man.
couple AKAs.
Man.
Party Marty is the most PG one
I feel like you need a in between each name. Party
Yeah.
Marty.
It got real.
For sure.
Man, this also probably came from childhood, just what I saw. But yeah,
I think, I don't know, it was a balance too though, because she had her way of growing up and the way I grew up. So my mom passed when I was 9, and my sister and I were raised by my dad. He remarried, but my dad is super cool. Like, never seen him get into an argument with my stepmom. Like, literally never. Of course, they had disagreements, but whatever conversations were had, were always had in private.
Okay.
So I just came from somebody who was super patient, super understanding, and so that's kind of where I come in. So I really just don't be tripping. I've never seen him trip off nothing. Literally. I mean, he's tripped off of shit, but in relationship, nah,
He's a cool dude.
cool as ice.
I know you said he remarried. So it was a blended family dynamic. And I know y'all have a little bit of that because your oldest son is not biologically Martinique's son. You had that son prior to y'all being married. So how has it been having a blended family? And you were pretty young when you had your eldest son?
I was in these streets too. I was in these streets.
yeah.
Just do an industry hand raise.
Man.
Don't be ashamed.
I mean,
I don't know if I
I
have
see,
enough
I
hands.
see all hands in the
All
room.
hands, yeah. We got hands and feet going up.
All hands in the room go up.
What a time. You know what I mean?
Man.
What a time.
But how was it? How was it for you coming in as a parent to? Well, not when in the 8th grade, but by the time y'all probably got serious, and certainly by the time you married, you already had family ties with your son. And then Martinique, how was it for you? I'm sure you probably had to develop a relationship with the son's mom, and how was all that? Because that could take a lot of people down the road.
It did. At first, I think I was introduced to Jaden, which is our oldest, at 2. He was 2 years old. The first time we met, we went to San Francisco to the mall, and he was like, "I love you," and I was like, "Oh my God, what do I say?"
And I was like, you tell a 2-year-old you love him.
Yeah,
So
but
did.
I wasn't around kids. I didn't know, But, years went on. The relationship with Jaden and I got a lot better, as time went on. And then his mom, we're good now. There was some hiccups, but,
It's
it
a
was a
process.
transition. It was a lot. Yeah, it's a process. That's the word. But now we're in a good space.
Yeah, and one of the first conversations that we had, so Jaden never saw anybody I was dating or kicking with at the time, just because, once again, my mom passed away when I was 9, and just from my growing up, I just, you see these women, and respectfully, but you just not my mom.
Respectfully, yeah.
So I didn't really want to have him go through that. So one of the first conversations we had was that, if we are gonna, make an attempt to do this thing for real, I need you to treat him like he's your son, regardless of the situation. Don't treat him any differently, because I grew up that way. And my stepmom, she didn't treat us bad, but there was a difference. She was a super young woman. I think she was in her late 20s when my pops met her. And so she was still growing into the same situation too. She's stepping in to a widowed husband with a 10-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter, and taking on that in the house that his wife, lived in. And so, it was a transition for her as well. But I just wanted somebody I told Nick, it's going to take a special person to walk into this situation and kind of own it and be part of this thing that we got going.
Them
And
early
so,
days.
yeah,
Okay.
we made it though.
Okay,
Made
look
it.
at the book. Okay, at first.
And now you got the 2 to round out the trio.
Right, yeah. We have a 5-year-old boy, McKinley, and then a 2-year-old daughter.
Tootie
August.
toot.
August
2.
Marie. So 3 total. We're busy. We're, yeah.
You doing the work? You always hear that term with marriage is work, which every time I hear that, I'm like, what? Well,
Everything is.
I feel like I think I know what it means.
Yeah.
But, demystify it for the people. What is the work? What work? Let me tell you what it looks like to me. Let me give you the single woman's perspective on the work. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're having to sift through finances. Who's managing what? Mm-hmm. We have to sift through household responsibilities, which to me is just like, subcontract that shit out. Get the cleaning lady. Like, there's certain things we're not going to fight over.
She literally subcontracted it out like 2 weeks ago.
Isn't it the best thing ever?
I'm not doing that.
They just come, you get out of the way.
Do my work.
2 hours.
Done.
You come back, fabuloso.
Yes.
That's it.
I
Bam. And it's just a maintenance job after that.
Yes.
I will never scrub my own tub ever again in life.
Thank you.
Well, we hope.
Yes. So
right.
come on to the married side. You got it.
All right.
You delegate. That's what it's called.
The work, cook, don't cook. I can cook, but I don't.
Right.
I like to eat out. So, okay, we hassling over cooking. Drop-offs. I'm thinking hassling, we want chicken or fish, whatever. Isn't that a Tyler Perry movie? That was chicken or fish. Janet Jackson. That triggered my mind. But what is the work? Because when people say it, they always say it like with, marriage is work. What work? You got regular activity.
Right.
You could shoot up the club.
Yep.
Hey,
Right.
we're doing this show.
Regularly.
I mean,
Yeah.
money is changing hands
giving
both
y'all
ways.
She's giving y'all the perks,
And so
man.
to me,
Yeah,
what is the work? Because it sounds like a sweet deal to me.
Yeah. I think the work is just sticking it out day to day because people, I don't know, I feel like in this 7 years, a lot of our friends are having like troubles with their relationships and stuff. So I don't know if it's that people are just kind of over the ordinary or what do you think? What do you?
Yeah, I mean, so I think the work, it comes from people feel like, it can get monotonous. And it can. Like, from day to day, you do some of the same things. You take the kids to school. You bring them home. You do the homework. You set it for tomorrow. You pack the
dinner,
lunches.
yeah,
you iron the clothes.
Mundane.
And then,
sometimes.
yeah, it can be. But also, for me, I talk to Nick about just approaching it with gratitude. Because you got to remember, like I said, my mom passed away when I was 9. So a lot of what the work is and a lot of those mundane things, like, we should be appreciating a little bit more. Every day isn't made to turn up, but it makes those times better.
It's not.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on how you define turn up. I told you I'm going to Home Goods after
Yeah,
this. So
that's the turn up.
that is a variation of the turn up.
That's the turn up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's probably what they mean by the work. But I don't know, it's not that bad. First you have to be somebody. So marriage isn't for everybody.
That part.
I know that's right.
Marriage is not for
Don't
everyone.
force it if it doesn't work for you.
Divorce rates are what, 50%? You have, women who have more power than they've ever had. Things obviously need to be better. Family dynamics are shifting. So it doesn't need to look like what it looked like in the fucking 70s and 80s. Right. So we have to respect that and understand that the family dynamic is shifting and make it your own thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. Like, Neek makes more money than me. She always has. It's never been an issue. I don't feel demasculated because I don't make enough money. I don't bring money home. Like, nah. She's a hustler. She gets money.
Yeah. But he picks up in other parts that maybe slack in.
It's the balance.
Yeah,
it's not
real
equality.
Right.
It's balance.
Totally.
I'll tell you a story about that. A few years ago, I met a dude. Mm-hmm. He had a couple of kids, and he had primary custody of the kids. So he was a single father. Mm-hmm. And I made significantly more money than he did. And I was in a position to do some things for him and for those kids. And my girlfriends would be like, you did what? I've had them on my benefits. It was like, you did what? You don't get any money, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they like really let me have it. Yeah. And I was challenging them, if this was reversed,
right,
and he was a single man that met me, a single mother with a few kids, and he was doing better than me financially, and he came into my life and started to help me with things, he would be the hero. Mm-hmm. Right. Be patting him on the back. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like the roles are gendered wise, the roles can be skewed
Yeah.
with what the expectations are on each part.
Yeah.
So I like that point you made about she's always been a higher earner
Always.
than you. But it's not caused a dynamic, and I'm sure y'all's community of people aren't really making you feel no kind of way about it.
Nah. I mean, cause I'm trying to be a house husband, y'all.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? She's like 3 houses away. I'm selling the gym to the highest bidder. I'm gonna be at the house, so yeah, y'all let me know. With an apron on, washing clothes, the whole
Scrambling
shit. Yeah, y'all got this shit twisted, man.
Man. Not to hate on your plan, but I hope that doesn't happen because I still have wellness goals I'm trying to meet. I need your ass at CSC.
For sure.
He ain't quitting no nothing.
sure.
He can't sit down.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't have the same approach as some. I mean, I don't have those insecurities about myself in terms of, finances or any of the other shit. I'm not checking where she is. Like, go ahead, do your thing, have a great time. See you. Most times I be asleep. I go to sleep on her ass quick.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
For real.
see you in the morning, my
I'm like,
love.
damn, he didn't even call check on me.
Out.
I could be in that world-renowned ditch that everybody falls into when they can't be contacted. But the point you made about a lot of your friends starting to, their relationships and marriages are starting to crack or, show evidence of wear and tear. A lot of people swear by not doing this, and then some people do the opposite, but do you take marital advice? Are you the advice givers to your community of people, or do you feel like, listen, it's one of those slippery places where it's like, I don't know if I want to be advising people, and I also don't want to look like, the Huxtables, like you said. Mm-hmm. Here's what you need to do for harmonious living. Where do y'all fall with that?
So I have a few single friends. So marital questions don't really pop up that often. But Babe has been having a bunch of conversations with some of his people, and they come to him often for advice. But yeah, I think we are the advice givers. But I like to try to keep it neutral because not everybody, it's different scenarios for everybody's situation. So
I would take advice from you.
Oh,
I sure would.
yay.
Yeah, my approach, once again, I kind of approach those conversations with not everybody wants to be married, so I'm not going to give you the whole, well, just do what she say do, bro. Like, you just got to kind of figure it out.
Happy wife,
first,
happy life.
Right.
yeah, you got to figure out what works for y'all and then go from there because, once again, everyone's relationship has so many different dynamics at play that I may not even be aware of. So, for me, first it's about maintaining respect, and then from there, just trying to find a happy medium. But yeah, we give the advice. I'll take the advice, but I'm not taking advice from everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's whether it's business, relationship. It doesn't matter. Like, I need to see someone who has been successful and is currently still maintaining a high level of success in whatever they're doing, and then I want to have conversations with them. So I may approach somebody, let's say, about a divorce or whatever it is, and ask questions on, hey, like, how did y'all get to that point? Like, what were some of the things you feel like you could have done differently? So that I understand if I'm seeing those.
Could have got that cleaning lady.
You should have got the cleaning lady,
Stop fighting
man.
over them damn dishes.
Yeah, you should have got Monica. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
That's our
Shout
dog.
out to Monica.
Yeah, she's doing her thing.
She the one. Let me know if you need her.
Do you give year-end bonuses to the cleaning people?
So we just started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
I've been
Yeah,
rocking with
2
mine
weeks
since
ago.
February, and I wasn't sure of the protocol. She probably talked about me like a dog.
No.
I didn't.
You
I
didn't
just gave the regular rate.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm derailing the conversation.
Did she do extra? She
Right.
ain't did no extra.
No, I was gonna bake cookies, but she don't know me like that.
Yeah.
She might be like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
And it's California. People's allergic. Does it have gluten-free
Get her a
flour?
candle.
Just,
For sure. Yeah,
it
no,
gets
no, no.
technical.
Home goods. Get her some home
Hey,
goods.
home goods.
Get her, a candle.
There you go.
Boom.
Or a skillet.
Or a skillet.
Not the skillet.
Cast
Cast
iron.
iron,
Cast
right.
iron. Can't go wrong.
Get
Not
her
everybody
a
know.
okay.
You can't go wrong with a
Everybody
cast iron
know.
skillet.
Yeah.
I
That's
love a good
year-end
cast iron.
bonus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Delegating in a marriage is important. I like that you brought that
Yeah.
cleaning stuff up.
And everybody's not, to your point, everybody's not meant to be married. I think the longer you are left to your own devices in singledom, get a real question mark behind that. I don't know if I could have someone calling me, asking me where I'm at and where I'm going. It might be nice like the first 3 times, but on the fourth time I might be like,
I got it.
okay,
Yep.
my social security card and my passport are in the house. So I haven't fled.
Yeah.
I still got the keys. I'll be there at some point.
For sure.
Thought process.
Right. Like, it's cool. Like, you don't have to ask me that again. And I'm just used to doing what the fuck I want to do. Right. It's hard, though. Like, y'all met young, so you had your youth to develop and build.
Right.
If you met today,
I don't know.
in today's dating
know.
environment, Father God, where do you think you would be? How do you think the relationship would mesh? Do you think it would line up the same way if y'all met as the people you are today?
We have this conversation all the time. I tell Neek, like, regardless of what happens, this is my first and last marriage. And we're in a great place. But I've never, like, this level of compromising that we had to do to get here, I would never do this with anybody else, ever. I'd be horrible to date. Horrible. I'm not I don't care what movie you want to go see. I don't care where you want to eat. Like, I'm going to go do what I want to do, and if you want to come, it's cool, and if not, then somebody else will probably want to do it. Like, I couldn't.
I like that approach.
Yeah, like, nah. Hell no.
Seems like that's how you have to be in 21. 2021 is like real cutthroat singledom, huh? I don't know much about it.
It's a cesspool.
It's like
It's Mad
Mad
Max.
Max. That's a great comparison.
Two men into one man leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's real, yeah. I don't know.
You
Nah.
hear like I had a tiger playing in the background on the day. It's just like one of us about to win.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be horrible today right now. But I understand it, though. It's funny because, so, like, you meet somebody, you want to settle down. Like, you already got yourself established. To give half, to split half of, like, Nick and I got together. We built together for the most part. From the first car that we bought to fucking the first house that we bought. Like, all that shit came together. But for, single, I'm not giving you half of my shit just because we signed this paper. That's crazy. Y'all wildin'.
I don't know. I always just grew up hearing once you start taking people's stuff, you owe them. So I wouldn't want half of somebody's stuff because I don't want to feel like I owe you anything or like you have any kind of leverage over me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure, if you are moving into this relationship and it's supposed to be, this union, that you don't have those elements at play, but still like half.
Well, that's the new thing now. Dudes, when the divorce happens, the dude is getting a half.
Yeah.
You see how Mary's husband did her?
Nick
And
Cannon.
who else's husband did them
Nick
like
Cannon.
that and took half them? Oh, Sherry Shepherd.
Kevin Federline was the first one.
Oh.
I remember him in high school. Yeah, he started the wave.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He's a legend. He's a legend in these streets.
The pilgrim of woman fleecing
You know what I
in
mean?
a divorce. He's
Of
the
scammers, yeah,
originator.
for sure.
For sure. Of the scammers.
First forward thinking.
That
You know what I'm
part.
saying? City Boys.
Changing the
The original City Boy,
He's
Kevin
the original
Federline.
scam thought? Is
Yeah.
that it?
game.
For sure.
I love that that's a genre of music. Scam thought. Scam thought.
Scam thought.
I always say, like, I'm trying to expand my network of friends. I have my, like I call them brunch mafia. I have my married friends. I have my Christian friends that'll be like, girl, please pray and repent. Because you're looking real crazy. But I need a few scam thought friends just to mix it up. I don't
Everybody.
want to scam and I don't want to thought, but I would love to enjoy the proximity to both. Yeah.
Vicariously.
Everybody needs a
Absolutely.
scammer in their life.
Yeah.
If you don't have one out there, you need to get one. Get you a scammer.
Got my first laptop.
There you go.
For sure.
I would think the scam thought friends probably, they're not focused on being married. They're having a
Yeah.
good time. But I hear so many women, like when they talk about being single, they talk about there's like this shrug they get in their positioning. Like, well, I'm still single. I don't have kids. If that's the case, it is almost like an apology, right? People have put marriage on such a high pedestal, but there's sides to it. Nothing is perfect. To your point, should a lot of people even really be in a marriage? So these things aren't perfect. Do you ever, Martinique, find yourself telling your single girlfriends to kind of get off the Boaz tip? I hate that stupid phrase. I'm waiting on my Boaz.
I mean, single friends. I feel like I tell them to. I think they look at Anthony and I, and they're like, they like the idea of us, but some of them don't really want to put the work in. You know, like the compromise work. I'm saying, like, a lot of them want to stay single, but also, like, you know, have the cake and the ice cream and the fork and the plate.
You mean like keep dating?
Keep dating,
Oh.
maybe.
Yeah, the phrase I heard somebody say, and we say sometimes, is some people want the wedding and not the marriage. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
They want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage. And like, if you're not into it if you can't be there for the ups and downs, and you know yourself, just don't do it.
Right. Yeah. But
If you
that's
know
the part.
yourself, don't do it. Weddings are nice.
Weddings are nice. They're expensive.
Did y'all have a big one?
We went to the courthouse.
You
I
did?
wanted my house over feeding people at a marriage. I mean, at a wedding. So I bought a house instead of having a wedding.
That's what I'm saying. We just a little different
We
with
set
it.
up a
Right?
little different. And now we got 2 and we're working on 3 houses. So, you know, it's all about what you
You see?
Look,
hustle
the hustle.
mentality.
The hustle.
She's going to
I-
end up selling me my first house.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Even
I
though
am.
I'm going into home ownership kicking and screaming because
That's okay. I am here to hold your hand.
that feels like a
I am here to
commitment
hold
to
you.
me, like a commitment, a 30-year mortgage. All I heard was 30 years.
Yeah.
It felt like a stamp. Boom.
But you could pay it off.
I
like
guess.
around it.
Or you can sell it.
Yes.
Or you can rent it.
Oh, you gonna rent it? Selling?
Yeah, don't sell it.
We
Keep
ain't
it.
doing no selling.
You think you'll go into the business? Married folks
Real
working
estate?
together?
He said it.
I joked around. I don't know.
He should. You could sell water.
I could. I don't know. I like what I do. I like being in the gym. I like wearing, you know what I mean, the hoodie and the sweats. You know what I mean?
You can't sell a house in a hoodie and sweats?
Right.
Not to.
This is Oakland.
Yeah, but you know, I like to be
You could get
around
married
the
in
people,
white
you
hoodie
heard?
and
Huh?
white sweats.
Hello.
You said what?
I said you can get married in a white hoodie and white sweats
Ooh.
and white Air Max.
I was going to say, what's
It's only
Never-
acceptable here.
I'm never wearing the white Air Maxes.
the all
You're not.
Nah. That's officially you have arrived at like ultra dad status. When you throw the white Air Maxes on, you're done. You're cooked.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Parallel park on this for a moment. Diversion. What's wrong with white Air Max?
I'm just saying it's the dad shoe. It's the ultimate dad shoe. And I'm a dad. I'm big dad vibes.
Yeah.
But the all white Air Maxes, nah.
I'm claiming that.
Air Force One?
The white, the Fazos, I could do some of those.
Okay. I just hate. Okay.
The white ones.
I just don't like
white
to
or
see
black?
men at the wedding in their tuxedo with the
with
white
the forces
Air Force
on.
ones.
Yeah, nah. I don't
With
like
that
it.
strap still connected in the back.
Oh, wow.
I have
they got
something
the
about
mids.
leaving things connected on your shoe. I don't like that, and I don't like when people leave that square tag on the side of their Timbs. That's a cornball move.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
really?
it just irks my
Yeah,
soul.
no, I'm not. I don't even think they still make mids. They make the mids, the Air Forces.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah.
and you could go on Etsy and get
Somebody's
them,
wearing those?
bedazzled, tricked out, Puerto Rican flag on the back. Yes.
If you're listening to this right now, and you have on the mids. I judged you. I just judged you. If you have on the old Rasheed Wallace's, the high top joints,
Wait, if you have what?
the Rasheed Wallace's, Sheedy Bo used to wear the high ones and hoop.
Oh,
Yeah, out of pocket. You're out of line. Hide your feet.
Hide your feet, hide your kids, hide your wives.
Hide your wives.
Hide your wives. Okay, so transition question. Y'all
Yes.
could probably advise me on this. My daughter's a young adult. I haven't told her this directly, like I haven't said it verbatim, but my tone has always been, it's your 20s, live your life, travel, buy an expensive handbag, go on trips,
For sure.
live your move to different
How
cities.
old is your daughter?
I don't want to say because then that incriminates me.
Wow.
I'm not trying to be in the auntie committee.
Okay.
If anybody except my nieces and nephews call me auntie, I'd be ready to bust your mouth. For real. Like, really.
Okay. All right.
But I'll say it because we're coming into a new year. By the time this airs, it's going to be a new year.
Yes.
And my friend
Right.
Marquita always says, stop hiding. I love her because she gives me the best advice.
Shout out Marquis.
My daughter's 26.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
She lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're a bi-coastal family.
Yeah.
So, I'm mother on the phone, and when I hang up, I'm in the streets. Best of both worlds.
Best.
True city girl.
Yeah.
Hey.
Spoken like a true city girl.
Listen. City girl. You choose the city. But I've kind of always told her, it's your 20s, you're supposed to be living, not ripping and running, but you're supposed to be living and kind of really having your own experiences so that if and when you do get married, you have something to bring into a relationship. You have experiences that are going to inform how you show up as a woman. But many people, you say the opposite, right? I listened to that advice and now it's years later and, people are paired up. And now you are out here. And really, sometimes, to a degree, the best you can hope for or the most you can hope for is people who are going to come on a second time around. Like maybe they were married and divorced, and now, they've gotten themselves together.
Right.
And they're ready to get back out there.
So you hope.
So you hope, right? People whose child support obligations have come to an end, and now they got a little money to take you out. You try to get, the recycled group coming around the back end. What are your thoughts about people getting married young? I have a few girlfriends who their daughters got married in their early 20s, and I was biting my lip not to be like, girl, don't do it, don't do it.
Reconsider.
Yeah.
Read some litter.
Right, sure, on the subject.
You sure?
Man, I was just like, you married at 21, so you went from being in your mama's house to being in a man's house to
go live your life.
live your life. Okay, so we have the
Go
same mind
live
there.
Your life, yes.
So this is what I say.
I-
Anybody who's under 25, anybody I talked about relationship stuff, 25 down to 15 years old when I was working in high schools. Okay, you got to look at it like this. When you are 10 years old, right, physically, you're kind of coming into your strength. If you try to jump up and grab a regulation 10-foot rim, can you do it?
Nope.
No, you cannot. Because your body's just not strong enough. So, emotionally, when you're going through your early 20s, you're still not emotionally strong enough to handle all that comes with a marriage. So why would you force yourself the same way you would with if you jump your highest, you're never going to grab the rim at 10 years old. You have to wait until you're 18. You have to wait until your body matures, and then you can do it. You can handle what it means to jump up and grab the rim. The same thing with people under 25. I think a lot of people emotionally, especially nowadays, there's so much shit out there, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all these different spaces where people kind of meet and create these ideas about themselves, and you're just not emotionally ready to do it. So trying to force yourself into it it's not going to work because you just don't have the tools and the skill set yet to make it work. And we've learned that too, just through trial and error. Same thing. We were, younger than 25, and we just continue to run into the same problems because emotionally we just weren't ready to take on all that it meant to be in a monogamous relationship.
Between 20 and 25, I think you should just be turning up. You need to, like you said, go have your experiences so you have something to bring back. That is key, I think. And we struggle with that. Between 21, 25, there were rough patches, but because we were still developing and growing individually, but we still stuck it out. But yeah, between that time, it was rough because we were both still trying to do our own thing.
Still trying to feel it out. And there's so much feeling out to be done during that time.
For sure.
For sure.
There is. I wouldn't know. Those were hardcore parenting years for me. 20s and 30s. So, back to the streets. It keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. I don't mean for it to keep coming up. I don't want to give the wrong. I don't want to give the wrong perception. I'm a decent person.
Yes.
But to the point of my hoodie, ratchet and respectable.
That's it.
The duality is key.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like
You're
Carlito. You know what I mean? Every
I'm
time you
what?
think you out. Carlito.
They pull me back
They
in.
keep pulling you right back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the element. It's not you.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's them.
It's them.
Thank you.
Gosh, I'm with you.
Giving language to that.
You know I'm with you.
Thank you.
This has been dope.
Yeah.
It's always good to hear perspectives. I don't have too many married friends.
We don't either.
Even if they're not my direct friends, though, there's people whose marriages I'm aware of and I see, as much as they allow you to see.
Right.
I like what I see. Some, I won't say I don't like what I see, but just, making mental notes of, okay. But it's always good to hear perspectives. I don't know if this will ever be my personal route. We'll see. I'm still fairly young. But I love what y'all had to share. And I love that y'all was my first guest.
Hey.
That was,
Thank you for having us. We
thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
an honor. I mean, because I remember you were talking about it, like the concepts. And then when you approached me, I was like, oh, okay, dope. And then when you told me what the concept was about just marriage, I just felt like, oh, shit, I guess we are doing something right.
I know. I wanted to ask why you selected us as your first guest.
So that's a good question. So when I see you all together, you look like you actually want to be together. That was like, nobody looks like they're having their arm twisted. And I like that y'all are an enterprising group. You are working for yourself as a real estate agent and having a lot of success in doing so. And you are working for yourself in your passion of wellness and physical training and well-being. And y'all both, to me, that could only help to strengthen what you bring to each other because you both are in your own element, right? There's this syndrome I see people have, and I call it dead man walking. I have a whole demographic that I ascribe this to, right? It's usually people, like 40 and up, but you're in a job, just soul-sucking work. The best you can hope for is some overtime, and all your joy is gone because you're just in zombie mode. This is why, even as I look at potential partners, I like a starving artist, right? Is that a PC term? I'm sorry. Let me not. Stop counting people's money. But I would much rather engage with someone who is in their passion.
A dreamer.
And maybe it's just not monetized all the way yet. And maybe it just never does monetize to a certain point. But I would much rather engage with someone who is in their passion because they're going to bring that to the relationship and potentially to a marriage than somebody who has, their check on the 1st and the 15th. And no shade to that because I like my check on the 1st and the 15th as well. But I still feel connected to the work that I do to some regard, and it doesn't feel monotonous. But when people kind of have that soul deadening 9 to 5, that soul deadening translates to other areas of your life and many times in relationships. So this is one of the things I like about y'all. You're passionate about what you do. You each are working for yourselves. And I didn't know that your relationship dated all the way back to like junior high school.
Yeah.
So you've had time to go through, like you said, Anthony, these iterations of who you are and who she is, and to really find your common space with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's
been a
awesome to
journey.
hear from the outside in, because we're living it, so it's hard to see it sometimes. So
Yeah, you can't
Thank
see
you for that.
yourself.
thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
And having us for real. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
Helps. It's more growth, honestly.
More
Brings
growth.
us together.
And what I love about this is these people I know who have stories that I don't know, all of your story.
Right.
So like I learned something about y'all in this, which is great. But that's it. This is first episode down. I thought I was going to be super nervous, but this was very comfortable. For
you
those
killed
of
the
y'all
game.
in Oakland,
Yeah, you're a natural.
I'm recording from the Reef Studios.
You heard?
Gang, gang.
Appreciate
Come on
the
and
Reef
come on and
Studio having
record
us.
what you need to have recorded here. But, this is going to be, going across to different areas. Because like I told you, I'm from the Bronx originally. I lived in Atlanta for a number of years before coming here. So eventually I will shoot it out to, my people in all areas after I've listened to it 50 million times. So, just make sure.
Coast to coast.
I feel like I want them to hear it. And my mama might get hold of it. So, I need to just really
Sorry,
make sure.
Mons, I was cussing. I said some words.
It's what I want it to be. But it'll be a 6-episode series. Episode 2 will be focusing on entrepreneurship, guest TBD. But I'm looking to follow up with a fast follow with that one soon. If anyone wants to engage with me on my socials in between now and then, I have two. K in the Bay, which is where I'm just posting information about my street time, street encounters, street adventures in the Bay Area. This is K in the Bay.
So wholesome.
It is. It's wholesome. It's wholesome. Well, K in the Bay is my wholesome page because it's just, hey, it's a festival. Hey, there's an event. Hey, it's a new restaurant. I'm out here in these streets. So that's that is. But that's all you're going to get on that page. So that's KAY_IN_THE_BAY_. Someone had the non-underscored version, so I had to get all those lines. If you want all of that information, but you still want to get to know me personally just a little bit better, if you feel like it, then you can follow me at my other page, which is Kahja versus Kahja, which is KAHJA_VS_KAHJA. Closing out for episode 1 of As Told By, featuring the Petties. Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes, I have. I hope it's okay if I mention them. My number 2 favorite podcast, Meet the Brave. But I'm so glad to have the support of the folks from that podcast, Monty Draper and Lex BUB, helping me out with consultative assistance and technical assistance for getting this first episode recorded. So thank y'all for participating, and I'm looking forward to episode 2. Peace.